excited.
All right, we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for being here. If you all start taking your seats, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'm going to start doing lunch detentions, starting with Jenny Goss. There's her shout out. Okay. All right. Well, good evening. I'm Alex Tomes. I am the principal at Rubidoux Middle School and also a former child. There it is. That's the good crowd I'm looking for. Okay. It's an honor to be here tonight. Because of this special evening, we're giving a well-deserved thank you to some of the greatest people I know. The ones who believe the potential of every student and who work every day to lift St. Joseph to the top. Tonight, we honor the boots on the ground. After all, no one has ever earned a Medal of Honor sitting behind a desk. There are superheroes among us tonight. They don't wear capes, but they do carry dry erase markers and hopes for the future. These individuals are the best of us, teachers, counselors, food service staff, custodians, and many more. They set the standard. They uphold the expectations. And let me tell you, being a teacher, anyone working in a school, is no easy feat. I hear people say often, oh, well, they get their summers off. Yeah, they also don't get a bathroom break longer than 5 minutes for 9 months straight, so there's that. So tonight, let's celebrate every amazing, hardworking educator and staff member in this room. This night is for you. And feel free, take all the bathroom breaks you want. So let's begin. I am pleased to welcome you to the 2024 Tribute to Teachers and Staff. Please rise for our Pledge of Allegiance. The presentation of colors will be by Lafayette ROTC. Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Barbara Spencer, 24-25 Teacher of the Year from Spring Garden Middle School.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lafayette ROTC and Barbara. The foundation is pleased to host this special event celebrating the St. Joseph School District staff. We thank all of our generous sponsors listed in the program. Without your help, this event would not be possible. We're also pleased to have special guests here tonight. We want to recognize and welcome members of the Board of Education. Please stand when your name is called and hold your applause until end. President LaTanya Williams, Kim Miller, Whitney Lanning, Vice President Rhonda Chesney, Mike Moore, and Jennifer Kearns. Thank you for your service. We'd also like to recognize the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Gabe Edgar, along with the St. Joseph School District Foundation board members. Ben Bird, Chair, Chris Barnes, Amy Hausman, Todd Meyerhofer, David Richmond, Natalie Hahn, Rod Sampson, Christy Arthur, Chad Carlson, Lisa Rose, and Dr. Gabe Edgar. We are also honored to have our elected officials here tonight. If you would please stand. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do as educators, mentors, and law enforcement officers for our students and staff, because we'd also like to welcome to the St. Joseph School Resource Officers, Sergeant Todd Durr, Officer Joe Herrera. There they are. What those guys do for our schools is unreal, guys, so thank you so much. This event would not be possible without the guidance and support of our corporate sponsors. Special thank you to our presenting sponsor, Hilliard. Finally, and most importantly, we welcome the reason for this event. Teachers and staff members from all of our schools and support departments are here tonight. Let's please give them a big round of applause. Before we go any further, please welcome Doug Walter from Ashland United Methodist Church, who will deliver the invocation.
You know, I'm honored tonight to be a part of this event. It's an occasion to honor the profound impact that teachers have in our community, on our students. It's a time not only to honor educators, but all of those who gather and share in this experience, to those that create endowment opportunities to provide generations of future educators. And as we start, I want to share the words of Solomon, a person of profound intellect and wisdom. And he tells us in Proverbs 1:5, "Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance." Would you pray with me? Creator of all knowledge and wisdom, we gather tonight to honor those special individuals who embody this scripture daily, our teachers and educators of the St. Joe School District. We give thanks for their dedication to increasing learning, providing guidance, and helping students discover their fullest potential. Like lamplighters throughout generations, they illuminate paths of discovery and understanding in young minds. Bless this tribute to teacher celebration as we recognize distinguished faculty and staff who have gone above and beyond in their sacred calling. May the classroom grants and the projects funded through this event bear fruit in the lives of deserving students throughout our district. Grant us grateful hearts as we celebrate the vital roles these educators play in shaping not only our children, but the very fabric of the St. Joseph community. In humility and thanksgiving, we ask for your blessing. Amen.
Thank you very much, Doug. It is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest this year, SJSD alumni Kyle Lenning, Benton class of 1997, Brett Halsey, Central High School class of 1985, Russell Book, Lafayette High School class of 1979. Kyle Lenning, proud alumnus of Benton High School, class of 1997, alongside his wife Whitney, have made significant contributions to their hometown of St. Joseph. The couple began their entrepreneurial journey by acquiring Adams Bar and Grill in 2014 and transforming it into one of the most popular dining establishments in the area, celebrated as Best of St. Joseph for 3 consecutive years. Their business success extends into real estate, where Kyle and Whitney are actively involved in property development, driven by a commitment to foster a growing community. Kyle and Whitney have raised 3 children, Kyle Jr., Chloe, Emma, and Lauren, all in St. Joseph, with the hope that not only their children, but also future generations will continue to call this city home. This deep-rooted connection to St. Joseph is reflected in their personal and professional lives. They see their work in real estate not just as a business, but as a crucial part of ensuring the vitality and continued growth of their community. Through their efforts in both the hospitality and real estate sectors, Kyle and Whitney Lenning have become synonymous with community development and commitment to their hometown. Brett Halsey, a proud alumnus of Central High School, class of 1985, has made a significant mark both in his professional and community endeavors. After graduating from the University of Missouri in 2002, Brett, along with his wife Samantha, embarked on a successful entrepreneurial journey. In 2003, they started their ServPro franchise, providing disaster recovery and cleanup services, which now spans multiple counties. Their business acumen extends into real estate, where they manage several rental properties, enhancing their connections to the community. Brett's commitment to his hometown is evident through his and Samantha's ongoing support of local initiatives. Together, they have raised 3 sons, TJ, Will, and Max, all of whom are Central High School graduates, continuing the family's legacy of local educational involvement. Brett's deep ties to the community and his professional success are a testament to his dedication and hard work, making him a respected figure both in business and local affairs. Russell Book, a distinguished alumnus of Lafayette High School, class of 1979, and Missouri Western University, class of 1986. Did it take you 7 years to graduate college? Okay, all right. Russell has made significant contributions to his community, both in education and in local business. Russell and his wife, Leanne, have raised 2 children, Maddie and Ike, who followed in their father's footsteps as Lafayette High grads. His deep commitment to local development is evident through his extensive coaching career, which spanned from 1987 to 2018, enriching the lives of countless students through their sport and mentorship. In 2010, Russell expanded his influence into the local athletic landscape by founding a basketball skills academy, dedicated to honing the talents of young athletes and fostering a deeper understanding of the game. The academy has become a cornerstone of local sports training, providing tailored coaching and development opportunities for aspiring basketball players. Beyond coaching, Russell has actively worked with the St. Joseph School District to promote student attendance, demonstrating his dedication to educational success. He is a well-known entrepreneurial investor, engaged in various local ventures that stimulate economic growth and community development. Russell's multifaceted involvement in education, sports, and business showcases his passion for fostering potential and encouraging excellence in his hometown. Gentlemen, first up, we're going to do a little bit of storytelling. I want to hear a story from high school from each of you, because I am betting they are good ones. I'm ready for it. They put the wild card up here, so let's do it. Who's up first? Oh, I don't think that's going to go that far. You guys want to come up here?
Alex, there's a wireless mic.
It unplugs?
It's a wireless mic.
What's wireless?
You don't have to
This
ask.
thing. Oh. Okay. Who took 7 years now?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna let that one go. Yeah, storytelling is probably my forte. I don't know if the rest of the questions I'll be very good, but I'll share this one with you. It may take a minute. When I'm in high school, I'll use a couple characters that you may know, at least one of them. Tim McMurray had an all-state daughter a few years back, and then Winifred Wells. You guys may have known him as Winnie. Has to be some people in the crowd that knew. I know you guys knew Winnie well. And we go to Lafayette, and we're not very affluent. And I'm saying that kindly. We had great lives. We had incredible lives. So I'm not crying about our lives, but boy, we didn't have a lot of money. And we were mixed in with some kids, and Northridge had just been built, some other areas up the county line. They had some money. We didn't have any money. We had a crazy good life, but we didn't have any money. So we're sitting in a lower level math class, which we were all in. And we come up with a scheme. The Pittsburgh Steelers, if anybody remembers back in the day, they were winning Super Bowls. And there'd be 60,000, 70,000 people waving. They called them terrible towels. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And the energy in the stadium, it was incredible. You turn on the TV and the stadium's rocking. And you're like, wow. Well, Winnie, my old buddy Winnie, looks over at us and says, hey, why don't we do something like that to make some money at Lafayette basketball games. You got to realize back in the day, Lafayette, man, there's no seats available. They had to turn away crowds when we were there. And I said, what do you think? And he said, let's buy some handkerchiefs. Tim's mom can get them at Kmart. That kind of dates us. She can get them at Kmart, and she says, let's tell a few white lies to the different administrative people, because you couldn't make money for yourself, of course. You can't. That's not kosher in high school, but we were going to do it. And said, let's see if we can sell these. So we do a little investigation. It was 7 cents a piece at Kmart. And we tell the art club that the cheerleaders are doing them. We tell the cheerleaders, we told them like it was another club, and we had to run this by both vice principals. Well, back in the day, and probably even now, that's probably not a big priority to go check on who's selling. We're going to call them horrible hankies with a Lafayette basketball player on them, $1 a piece. Man, they're going to fly. We kind of, I guess that was the start of my white lie career. But we went around and told these, and nobody checked on us. I don't know what the penalty would have been, but we were willing to risk it. And at the first basketball game, I'm playing. And I look over to Winnie, and he goes like this. He goes, gone. Gone? And we just made $500. And you got to realize at this time, this is silly. So we're like, oh, my God, we got a game Friday night. And so we schemed the next day. Everybody thinks cheerleaders got 500 and the art club's got 5. The art club agreed to print them if somebody else was doing them for a nonprofit. Well, it was profit for us. So we go get 500 more. I look over Friday night, this baby's packed again. We sold another 500. And I told this story if Ron Hooks here. I know, where's Ron at? Ron floating around here somewhere? One of these we're playing Benton, and I know Ron loved Winnie as Winnie loved Ron. This is game 2, and we got $1,000, and we're kids that got $2 or $3 in our pocket. We got good lives. We don't have any money. Oh, it's silly. It's silly money. And so we said, let's go for it one more time. Let's go next Friday. We go buy another 500 hankies. We print them off. And we sell out again. And we had a great following, parents, and it was incredible. So I was the vice principal of Lafayette, and I had keys to these student council rooms. So we got these bags of money, and we go down, and we made a vow, because we started hearing that was kind of wrong thing to do. And, you can't sell. We're going, hey, can you sell stuff and make it? Oh, well, my God, no, you'd be in big trouble, okay? Better zip this. So we go down in the student council room, and we're going 20, 20, 20, 10, 10, 10. We made $1,500, and we made a vow in this room, Tim McMurray, Winnie Wells, and myself. Let's don't tell anybody until after we graduate, because we don't want to get our certificate taken away. And we thought that's the way they could do that. Well, one of the funniest things, and it's true, and at Winnie's funeral, Ron, at Winnie's funeral, your buddy Mike Veal has one in back. He's got it in a picture frame, and he stands up with a horrible hanky, and we about fell over dead. They're still out there. We had a guy in Florida, we had some other places, they're still out there. And I think the statute of limitations has expired, so we're good to go on all that. But one of the funniest things is Winnie, I look over, and I'll never forget this. I can show you the room at Lafayette. I can show you the room where we counted this money. And we counted, and we bought exactly to a T 3 cases of 500, and we had $1,612. And I look, usually you'd think I have a little less, or your buddies are trying to cheat you. We got more. We got more than $1 a piece. So I look at Winnie and I said, hey man, I'm on cloud 29. But I said, how could we have 1,500 hankies and $1,612? And he looks at me and he says, well, Russ, so I'll tell you what happened. He says, right before that game was getting ready to go, he goes, I looked down, I had about 40 hankies left in that bag. He had a big bag, and he'd throw them out and buck. And he said, I got 200 hands in the air wanting them. They're screaming, Winnie, over here, Mr. Doan, Mr. Lau, I want 3. And I go, you only had 40 left? And he goes, yeah, I had 40, and there was 150 hands. I go, what'd you do? And he goes, I raised the price. That's an honest to God true story from my high school. Hope that wasn't too long. Horrible hankies. Take that mic
I'm not very excited about following that. I guess I'll tell a story about making some money in high school too, but it wasn't, I don't even know it was as honorable as that. At Central High School, when incoming freshmen came in every year, we had elevator passes printed, and I don't know if any of you know where the elevators are at Central. There aren't any, and I bought one my freshman year and figured out by the end of the first day that there's no elevator. So we got on that train our sophomore year. Well, we actually went to Midwest, I think it was Midwest Office Supply, and had them printed up so they looked really legit. And we sold like 200 of them for $5 a piece. This is an 83. And the next morning, we're all fired up because we got more books of them. We're going to keep selling them. I walk into school and Tarpley and Carneal and Wallerstedt are standing at the front door. As soon as we pull up, we got to go to the office. And I said, oh, okay, what's this about? The elevator passes. And I don't know what you're talking about. And I look outside of their office, and there's the other 4 guys that we were selling the elevator passes with, and they've already turned their money in. I've already spent my money. I don't have any of that money left. So, of course, I had detention, and we may even have had to do some community service to get that money back, but we never sold any more elevator passes. However, do you guys remember blue passes? If you missed class? Well, I was pretty good at dating a girl that worked in the office each year that could maybe get away with 2 or 3 books of those blue passes. And then she would also borrow a Sam Carneal or Wallerstedt stamp, and I would go get a copy made at Midwest Office Supply so I could stamp my passes. Those were worth a lot more than elevator passes. Sold a lot of those.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to go a different route than these two are. I'm not nearly as well gifted at gab as these two are. So since we're all here for education, I will tell a short story, leave out a lot of details, and give a big thank you to all the teachers, which a couple of them are here, that put up with me in high school. Why did you pick 3 bad kids to come up here? I guess.
Yeah, those are the good stories.
Those are the good stories. So we may or may not have stolen a bus one time on a golf trip. And I would like to say our coach/teacher was very understanding and forgiving. He could definitely differentiate between ornery and bad. We were all on the ornery side. None of us were on the bad side. But to all you teachers that put up with kids like me, thank you very much. Yes.
Kyle, you can keep that. Yep. Now that we found it, better hang on to it. Gentlemen, thank you. First of all, I am suspending you 3 so hard. But hey, on a more serious note, I have a question for each of you, but also answer for me what made you decide to make St. Joseph and the St. Joseph School District your home. So Kyle, we'll go first with your question, okay? Your success with Adams Bar and Grill and your active involvement in real estate development have significantly impacted St. Joseph's community growth. How do you see the relationship between local businesses and local schools, and in what ways can entrepreneurs like yourself contribute to enhancing educational opportunities for our students?
Okay. I feel like a strong school system supports strong business, supports a strong community. They all go hand in hand. Population equals people, which equals business. We obviously are from the South End. Well, I am. My wife is a transplant. She was a Middletowner. But we're based out of the South End, and most of our real estate is all in the South End. We try to, whether it's new or old, we try to rejuvenate and give back to the community a little bit. Obviously, I'm not that great a person. It's obviously to make money also. But no, they go hand in hand. Without a strong school and a growing community, it's hard to have a local business and stay in business. We try to give back as much as we can, whether it be monetary, dinners. I volunteer and coach golf at Benton a lot of time. And we do all three parts of the town. It's kind of funny she picked north, south, and middle to be on this panel together. But yeah, it's a community that we love and we support. St. Joe will always be home. Whether we have homes elsewhere, St. Joe will always be home base. We love it, for better or for worse, hopefully for better in the coming years. But that's all I got.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yep.
Okay, Russell. Russell, you've had a profound impact on our community through your roles in sports, education, and local business. Can you share how your experiences as a coach and entrepreneur have helped your approach to promoting student attendance and engagement in school? Additionally, what lessons from your diverse career do you think are most valuable for educators looking to motivate and inspire students both in and out of the classroom?
I was thinking of a story as Kyle was talking. Sometimes you don't realize the impact you have on a kid when you just do a simple, kind act. Late 80s, early 90s, I'm running Noyes Pool, and a group of little kids used to come over from Masseny. There were about 10 of them, and I could tell they'd stand on the fence there, and they didn't have money to get in. And I always had a heart for those kids. One of them was Marco Dudley. Some of you probably know Marco. He helps out a lot with the younger teams. Anybody know Marco here? Who Marco is? Marco's a good dude. He's doing good things with younger kids. Got a good job now. If Gary's here, Lindbergh, Gary Murphy, Gary here anywhere?
He's somewhere, I saw him.
I thought he was too. We had him up to Lindbergh last week. He was incredible. Well, anyway, I would have Marco and those kids. I would always think, I don't know if I had this power, but I did it. Kind of like the Horrible Hankies. I made my own rules. But I was running Noyes Pool, and I'd see these kids standing on the fence every day, and I go, hey, man, what y'all doing? Oh, man, wishing we could swim. You know, they couldn't swim. And it wasn't very much swim, but they couldn't swim. So I would always find just crazy things for them to do for 30 minutes, and I'd let them come in the rest of the day. And I remember taking them to my mom's house and taking them some other places where they could make a few bucks, and then they could go buy and do something. And always enjoyed helping them, and some of them went good, some of them went bad. They went to different schools. Marco went to Central, Dennis Reed went to Lafayette. But as the years went by, they would come back and appreciate what I'd done for them, and they were kids. And I called Marco last week, and Marco's doing really well. And I asked him, I said, we got a couple kids at Lindbergh that need some serious guidance. And this Marco, he's got a lot of credibility with the street kids. He talks to them well, and he coaches football, basketball, baseball. He's got teams going all the time. And he came up, and he was incredible. And he was kind of paying it back to me, what I tried to do for him years and years ago. LaTanya, you probably know Marco from uses the Bartlett Center a lot. Marco is one good dude. And back in the day, I never thought about that extended on down the road, but it's incredible the dividends it's paid by helping those little kids of some different ways of life. And they've gone on to expand on that. I'm crazy proud of those guys. So that's kind of example of that. What was the other part of that question again?
Oh boy, Russell, I don't know here.
You want to hear another high school story? No, I'm just teasing.
Promoting student attendance and engagement in high school. And additionally, what lessons from your diverse career do you think are most valuable for educators looking to motivate and inspire the students both in and out of the classroom?
I think, knowing these guys and knowing myself and how we grew up, I think I try to talk to kids that I was you. I was you. I didn't have a lot. I had a good mom, had some other good things in life, but I didn't have a lot. And if we can all go on to do the things we've done, and I show them, I have a picture on my phone when I go in these different schools, I show them my gym, because that's tangible, that's real. You know, if I show them a picture of a spaceship or something, they don't care about that. But if I show them a picture of a gym and I say, this sits in my yard, and I was you, And I wasn't the best student, but I went every day. I tried. And when you try, people tend to help you in life in general if you give an effort. So that's what I try to preach a lot. Get your butt here to school, and good things will happen. Your life will go up. You got to try. But I think if you can show them that I wasn't here, man, I was here when I was your age. And that's kind of what we talk about a lot.
Yep. Thank you, Russell. Okay, Brett. Your career through Serve Pro, combined with your deep commitment to community initiatives, gives you a unique perspective on resilience and redevelopment. How do you see these skills translating into educational settings, particularly in preparing students to face challenges and adapt to change?
I'm going to start this with a multilinear quadratic equation.
Good, good.
First, I have to, Russell, that was so well said. I mean, you just killed it. And I want to talk about this briefly. What we're facing right now in this community comes back to core values, very important core values that we all try to instill into our children at home, but some have to be instilled in our school district. And I've never been more excited for the direction of our district and the leaders of our district, and trying to establish these core values, trying to bring these kids up to become Russell Books that will pay it forward, Kyle Lennox that'll pay it forward. We're trying our best, my wife and I, to pay it forward, but that was really well said. I'm glad you said that. Once again, what was my question?
Oh, here we go. Back on that page. Brett, how do you see these skills that you have translating into educational settings, particularly in preparing students to face challenges and adapt to change?
What we do in disaster restoration is, obviously you can't ever prepare for it. We get calls at all hours. You just never know what's coming. We are forced to shoot from the hip, which many of you teachers are. You deal with things every day. These kids deal with things every day that they're not prepared for, they didn't see coming. And so why don't you send all the kids to work for me, and I'll help them learn how to deal with stuff that gets slung in their face. Literally, some stuff that gets slung in their face. How I would transition that into education, I honestly don't know, because I'm not a teacher and I don't possess the capability that you all do. But I would tell these children that be prepared for something different every day, and be willing to fight, be willing to reach further than you thought you could reach, and be proud of your teachers. Be proud of the people that are trying their very best every day to provide you with a really good environment.
Thank you, Brett. And guys, I just want to say I taught at Central. I was the assistant principal at Benton. Now I'm up on the north side as principal at Rubidoux. And I can't tell you how much it means to us to have strong alumni that are business leaders supporting our schools. So again, you three, thank you so much, gentlemen. Glad we found that mic, huh? There you go. You can take it with you. Okay, at this time, please welcome Dr. Ashton McGinnis, our current Assistant Superintendent for Academic Services, to join us.
Good evening. First and foremost, I'd like to say congratulations to our staff we are honoring tonight. I'm so grateful and thankful for your time, your energy, your talents. Thank you so much for giving your very best for our kids. I appreciate that. Our district, much like our guest said tonight, it's my home. St. Joe is my home, not only professionally, but personally. I've spent my career here, and I care deeply for our students, our staff. I believe in our people, our work, and the mission that we do every day. Most importantly, I believe in our students. Looking ahead, know that my focus remains on listening, learning, and leading alongside each of you. Together, we are going to move our district forward with a renewed commitment to academic excellence, shared partnerships with our community members, and a shared belief that every child in our district can succeed. I believe that, and I know our educators believe that as well. I'm excited. I'm grateful to be on this journey with you. I'm excited and humbled for the opportunity to serve as our next superintendent of our St. Joseph School District. Thank you very much.
Dr. McGinnis, thank you for your dedication and your words of inspiration. Our first award, presented by Dr. Lacey Adams, is the Ruby Kate Wells Memorial Field Trip recipients. Please welcome Dr. Lacey Adams to the stage.
Thank you. Is this where I get to tell a story about Coach Book? Because I was one of his students. I've got some good ones. It's my honor to be up here tonight to present this award. The Ruby Kate Wells Memorial Trip was established in the winter of 2008. Ruby Kate was the daughter of Scott and Tara Wells. She passed away unexpectedly at the age of 16 months. Scott is an accountant at Herzog, and Tara was a former elementary principal at Pershing Elementary. They had a strong desire to honor Ruby's memory through helping other young children. The purpose of the Ruby Kate Award is to provide enriching and educational field trip experiences for students in the St. Joe School District Title Schools. This is the 16th year the Wells family has honored an applicant. This year's Ruby Wells Memorial Field Trip recipients are Brooke Rich at Lafayette High School, National World War I Museum.
All right, congratulations, Brooke. Next, we want to recognize this year's Appleseed Grant recipients. On behalf of the St. Joseph School District Foundation, we would like to thank all of our sponsors who, through your support, fund this program. Your gifts are being used in elementary, middle, and high school, and we are grateful for your continued partnership with the foundation and the St. Joseph School District. The funding provided through the Appleseed bridges the gap between what's available and what's needed. These grants give diverse and financially in-need students equal opportunity to experience things that their families or the school district may not be able to afford. With these grants, teachers are able to tailor activities to the student's interest, motivating each student to learn through his or her passion. This year, 8 grants were funded with amounts ranging from $215 to $7,100. All the winners and their grants are listed in the program. Would all these year's Appleseed Grants recipients please stand when I call your name? Angela Claywell, Super Science Club, Parkway Elementary. Jennifer Fitzpatrick, Enhancing Woodshop Education with Laser Engraving and Cutting Technology, Central High School Industrial Arts. Catherine Kasel, Digital Content Creation, Truman Middle School. Melissa Morrison, Garden Beds in the Middle Schools, Hilliard Technical Center. Joyce Storer, Hop Onto the Time Machine, Discovering the Ancient World Through Artifacts, Art, and Architecture, Rubidoux Middle School. And Ashley Zeiler, Using Sewing Machines to Teach Engineering Design and Mathematics at Hilliard Technical Center. Please give a round of applause for these Appleseed recipients. All right, it is now my honor to welcome Mr. Todd Meyerhofer to present the Suzanne and Walter Meyerhofer Jr. Memorial Innovator of the Year Award.
Thank you all very much. So the Meyerhofer Innovator of the Year Award has been given in memory of my grandfather, Walter Meyerhofer, and my grandmother, Suzanne Meyerhofer, since 1994. Our family wanted to continue his desire to help the school district by creating the scholarship for the many hours he spent volunteering at Humboldt Elementary School. For over 130 years, our family has supported the St. Joseph School District. Our desire to promote public education in our community has been a cornerstone of our mission, and the purpose of this award is to encourage teachers to be creative and offer true innovative techniques in their classroom with the sole purpose of supporting our local school system. And this year proves to be no exception. This year's winner is Ashley Ziller. Come on up, Ashley. I think we have a video. We have a video.
I just want to thank the School District Foundation. I actually was very surprised. She called me and she's like, "You're the Innovator of the Year." And I was like, "Oh, that's exciting." I didn't know that was something that I would be honored for at Tribute to Teachers. So I was very excited to hear about that. And I was just thankful that I had the opportunity to work with these different community members and be able to help these kids see that there's more to life than what's in their small little bubble. Came back from space camp and I'm like, they were talked about using sewing machines to sew space shields and different things that expand out in outer space. I was like, I think sewing machines would teach engineering. I think this could be a really good plan. With the Appleseed grant, they gave me 3 sewing machines and all of the materials and things to work with them. They learned there's science, there's engineering, there's math involved. It basically had all of our different STEM categories, but taught them a life skill at the same time. And so the students started out by meeting with different community members. They spoke with the YWCA, Sparkle Peach, United Way, AFL-CIO, and the Pregnancy Resource Center to get an idea of what those different organizations serve and what kinds of needs that they have within the community. Some of them worked on things from like burp cloths as something that was in need at Pregnancy Resource Clinic. Sparkle Peach hands out feminine products to women who can use those resources. And they needed a bag that was more discreet than just a plastic Walmart sack for some of their bigger boxed items. United Way, they needed something for their women who come in with nothing. And so it was just an all-around kind of bag to be able to carry their paperwork, any of their personal items, something that they could call their own. And then the final group that worked was working on a knapsack for the homeless, trying to make sure that it was something really waterproof, big enough to carry the things they need. But I wanted to make sure that these kids had an opportunity to actually give them to these community members themselves. I think that was important for them to get to say, like, this actual product is going to someone who can use it. They sketched out all of their own plans. They had to create their own patterns for it. So they cut those big sheets out of paper, found their fabric, started stitching, ran into a lot of different issues as they were going through. They got to hang out with the seam ripper quite a bit. But it gave them the opportunity to see how things get pieced together from the inside out, because a lot of those projects you have to flip them, and so getting them to mentally wrap their head around some of these pieces was fun to watch them piece together all these things. I think a lot of these kids are going to be able to take their sewing skills, and some of them are like, I can now fix things, or I can come up with an own design for something that I need, or be able to read at least a pattern to figure out step-by-step instructions, make a straight line. So they were frustrated at first, but I think a lot of them got to the point where they realized how useful this skill could be. So they got to learn a new skill and be able to use it to help somebody else.
Ashley, again, congratulations. All right, let's present the Support Person of the Year Award. To help us present these awards, Lafayette High School parent Danielle Burns and current Support Person of the Year Miranda Ham will come up to the podium.
School support staff include a variety of staff members who provide instructional support as well as support to students in our schools. They can foster positive, trusting relationships with students and improve school climate by encouraging parent and family involvement in education. When I call your name, please come forward. This year's finalists are Stephanie Grable, library facilitator at Scaife Elementary. You can stay if you want. Hang out with us. You're good. Reagan Atkins, reading math interventionist, Hosea Elementary School. That's fine. And a big shout out to my girl, Jennifer Koch, for winner of the Year for Support Person at Lafayette High School. We personally had a lot of interactions. Some days I think she probably would prefer not to. My son Jameson recently had a heart transplant a year ago, and we wouldn't have made it through him going to school without her support. We have lots of fun jokes back and forth about trash cans and such, and I sent her a video to let her know that he had gotten the call, and I got a video back from her of her jumping in the air, and she even took time out of her date night to bring down a fundraiser for him days after his transplant. So we wouldn't have made it without her. We love you.
The role that I play at Lafayette is I'm a school nurse, but I do so many other things too. I help with the attendance, I do prom committee, I've coached cheerleading for 17 years. I have driven vans to get basketball teams places or the debate team places. So pretty much I'm a jack of all trades, but my actual job is to be the nurse. I graduated from Missouri Western from the nursing program in '97. I worked 5 years in surgery, and then I got on to the school district, worked 1 year at Lake, and I've been at Lafayette for the last 22 years. Honestly, I'm just very humbled in the fact that people would say such nice things about me. I just show up every day and do what's best for kids, and I'm just thankful that people are recognizing that. I think that sometimes school nurses get overlooked a little bit, and so it's great that we get the opportunity to kind of put that out there at all the work that we do. Nursing in the last 22 years has just been crazy amounts of changes. When I started there, we had one diabetic usually in the building at a time, or we had just maybe one or two things here or there that we had to deal with. But now the health problems are just much more complex. We have trachs, we have tube feedings, we have multiple diabetics, we have people with organ transplants that we're helping to take care of, and obviously we help take care of the staff too, which all kinds of health needs are getting more and more complex every year. I believe nurses are important in many, many ways. Not only do we take care of the health illnesses and the injuries, but we do a lot of health education. We manage chronic health conditions. We perform yearly health screenings so we can help parents, take care of their kids the best they can and just make sure that they are as healthy as they can be so that they can get their education. I think our biggest challenge that affected me was COVID. COVID was so ridiculous in the fact that, the CDC was changing our guidelines every other day, which means sometimes I had to contact trace, sometimes I had to send kids home, then I didn't, then I did, and staff was worried, and students were worried, and parents were worried, and it was just a very, very stressful time. Shut down for a while, and then for a while we had schools that we didn't know how it was really going to go, and of course nurses were an integral part of that in all of the daily changes, but that was That's probably the number one thing that has been a big challenge. Parents are sometimes challenging their attitudes towards their health, attendance, and education. Sometimes feels like an uphill battle. We have good days and bad days, but I feel like we're fighting it a little more often than we used to. Gosh, I've had so many students through the years that just really made an impression on my heart. I have students that will come by just because they want to give me a hug, and some students that just need something to eat, and I can get them something to eat. I had a kid that unfortunately had to go to Webster for a short time because of disciplinary things, and his mom reached out to me and said, he's just not doing well over there. He misses you terribly. He said, you're the only person he can talk to. And so it made me so sad. But I went over to visit with him, and I've never seen somebody so excited to see me, even my own kids, right? And so it was so nice, and of course he's back and doing very well. And little stories like that make you think you're doing something right.
All right, congratulations again, Jennifer. Now it is time for our St. Joseph School District Teacher of the Year Award, sponsored by Hilliard Industries. Barbara Spencer, our current Teacher of the Year, will be helping with the presentation. Maybe I should have given you a bigger heads up, huh? All right, this year's finalists are Michaela Miller, Math Interventionist, Rubidoux Middle School. She loves the attention. Jamie Davis, ELD teacher, Carden Park Elementary. All right, and our winner this year is Mary Sanders, 4th grade teacher, Pershing Elementary School.
Being named Teacher of the Year professionally and personally meant a whole lot to me, not just me, but my family. That what made me decide to be a teacher was not this really fun, inspirational story. I was rather kind of naughty when I was little. And so there wasn't this teacher that really changed my life. In fact, I have a lot of student teachers, and when they were younger, they would set up their dolls and teach their dolls. And I think all the time, oh my gosh, I was cutting my doll's hairs and then hiding them from my mom. But it was when I became a mom, it changed my world. And so when I became a mom, my life had so much purpose. Watching my oldest daughter go through the educational system and seeing all these great teachers pour into her, I thought, wow, what a cool job to do. And so it was only when she was in high school that I went and got my education degree. So I always give credit to my oldest daughter because she's the one that kind of inspired me to go become a teacher. I'm a proud Northsider. I graduated from Lafayette. I bleed that green. I love the Northside community. And then I went to Missouri Western and got my Bachelor's of Education and worked at preschool at the same time and raised 3 daughters. So it was a lot, but I loved every second of it. I choose to be there, they do not. And so every day I walk through my door, it's a choice. I know that some of our kids, they don't get that choice, and so I'm going to make it the best day ever I can when I'm in there with them. So I wake up every day excited to go to work and excited to do some fun learning and make it as fun and engaging as I can for them because they don't choose to be there. So we have to make it fun for them so they really want to be there. I like to make it fun, engaging games as much as I can, but I'm also I have this balance of being kind of high expectations too. So we're not just in there playing, we have learning to do, and I think my kids understand that. I'm not sure how I do it, but I do have a really good balance of, hey, we're gonna have some fun, but we're also gonna stay respectful and get in the learning process. I really like going to work every day. There's not one day since I've been a teacher that I've not been excited to be there. So I think that contagious energy is what my kids feed off of. Kids, you can't fake it. They're going to see right through you. And so if you don't want to be there or if you aren't into it, they won't be either. And so I think the fact that I really do love my job every day, that they feed that energy and they see it. So yeah. Definitely the biggest challenge facing students is kind of the lifestyle that they're living. During COVID-19, when students were being quarantined, I would often go and get a dozen cookies and take some packet of work to their house. And I think seeing some of the living conditions of our students was really eye-opening for me. And so every year I kind of take my roster of kids and I really want to think about where are they coming from and how can I help them. So I think just kind of the culture of poverty that unfortunately is plaguing our community right now is a big undertaking for our students. They can't help where they're coming from. And it's the little things in the classroom, like when it's birthday treat time and someone who comes in with birthday treats and the next month it's another kid's birthday and they don't have treats. So I keep stacks of cupcakes in my closet so when it's their birthday that they can also pass out the treats. So it's those little things that I think that kind of rock their world a little bit. But definitely poverty would probably be one of the biggest factors I think impacting our kids. I had this student at Lindbergh, he was a 3rd grader, and he walked in one morning and he was like, "Mrs. Sanders, my mom got shot." And I was like, "What?" I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, what can I give you? Do you need to go talk to a counselor? He's like, "No, I think she's gonna be okay." And I was like, oh, and I wasn't prepared for that. I've never had that happen to me. And I was like, if I can do anything for you, please let me know. Like, how can I help, And we sat there for a moment and then he goes, "Well, Miss Sanders, I got shot too." And he rolled up his sleeve and he had his flu shot. And so that was one of those moments where I was like, okay, never overreact. But the most cherry on top of this crazy Sunday is the mom came and they were from Cuba, so they spoke very little English. And the mom came the next day and her son translated and said, "My mom was so grateful that you were so concerned about our flu shots, so she brought you perfume." And so she brought out this bottle of perfume and it was called Sexy Girl. And it was in the shape of a black high heel. And I remember telling this mom, "Hey, I probably shouldn't take this." And she was insisting I take it. So I took it and on my bookcase, it's a little black high heel perfume. It's just a reminder, you just never know what's gonna come your way. So that's definitely one of my favorite stories. I will hold on to it forever. Okay, I promise not to be as long as Coach Book, but I do have props. I love you, Russell. Okay. Hold on. Okay. I have to start with this. An amazing teacher, an advocate for all, the passion for educating herself and fellow teachers on those students who need a voice. The world of dyslexia, ELD, the intervention world. She has given a voice for so many of our kids and been a strong advocate. I am so humbled to be listed next to her this year. I have admired her patience, her compassion, her intelligence for so many years. Carden Park and our district are so lucky to have her. I love you so much, Jamie Davis. And her dad is one of my favorite people of all time. And I know he just got inducted into the Black Archives Hall of Fame. Not only that, but he's one of the most positive former SJSD support staff. Chuck Davis, you're awesome. A teacher who has found her voice throughout her career, works tirelessly for others, supports teachers, students, does so much beyond her scope. That's just the person that she is. I'm just not lucky to be listed next to her this year, but to live life with her. She's a strong woman, a strong mama, who I'm blessed to know and blessed to call one of my very best friends. Robidoux and our district are so lucky to have Miss Michaela Miller. Truly, the highlight of this process was seeing both of these amazing educators get the recognition they so strongly deserve. I have been in awe of them for years. My entire career, I've been inspired by the people who I've shared hallways with, buildings with, always just trying to keep up.
It is the new and energetic energy of the younger teachers, the one who brings in a boost of fresh ideas, excitement, and those big eyes. The Matea Gilberts, Clayton Bosches, Maddie Dryers, Kennedy Meadows. Their passion becomes contagious, and we can learn so much from them. It is also the wisdom and loyalty of the ones who have stuck around and dedicated their careers to not just helping those kids, but helping these new teachers. I find myself eager to collaborate with their experience, their ideas, their thinking. The Vicki Murphys, Kayleen Caves, Stephanie Simmons, Ann Irizarry's, Debbie Cotters. The wisdom is irreplaceable. Their commitment is admirable. I'm thankful for all those amazing educators that have poured into me during my career, who have opened their doors and guided me throughout this process, about this profession. I'm surrounded professionally and personally by the most amazing people. It's the people who sit at my table. It was exemplary teaching of Amy Baber, Katie Newsom, Amanda Roth, who embraced her first-year teacher and surrounded me with wisdom, joy, and a lot of humor. It was the amazing leadership of John Davison, who I was so fortunate to work under for the first 7 years as a teacher. He put up with way too much. He dealt with a teacher who always had an opinion. He was a target of many of our pranks and still gave me a contract even after we showed up in a prom dress when he wouldn't let us have a jeans day. He kept his door open for my concerns, my ideas. He encouraged passion and cultivated a building where we just took care of one another. It is where I fell in love with education. This is where I became a teacher. It is now my fellow Panthers who inspire me daily with their nonstop commitment to our kids, the love that's felt in our building, the support and encouragement. The positive culture of our building is so very contagious. The compassion of Jenny Burhoop, the warm welcome of Amy Bates, the helping hands of Miss Leanne, the cleanliness of Mr. Eddie, if you know, you know. The love of my Kaylin Byer, and the compassion and leadership of Holly Brady. It is my teacher tribe because we know to get through this life and get to this job, it is a necessity. Melody Pond, Amy Baber, Michaela Miller, Casey Rumbala. I'm glad for every therapy session, words of wisdom, encouragement, and love. Now, I turn to my table. Tonight, we're starting a new tradition with SJSD. I'm going to give my grade level teaching partner the distinguished honor of being named SJSD POI of the Year, Partner of the Year. He has been the true definition of support and love this year, humbling one another, inside jokes, and our love for our fourth graders that has made this year so special to me. He has brought me so much joy, so much laughter, and we have mastered the art of communicating with just that simple look. He's been my therapist as I come barreling through his door almost every morning, and has been the most amazing partner throughout a very, very hectic year. It is my parents who have taught me to fill those holes. If there's a way you can help and be useful, do it. My dad would work long hours at a factory job and drive over to Humboldt Elementary to coach basketball. He had zero connection to those kids, but there was a hole to fill, and he filled it. My mom also worked so hard as a nurse, yet always made family a priority. She never missed a thing. It was their love and guidance, their values, their character who made me the teacher and the person I am today. It is my husband who turns his head at the never-ending Amazon boxes of green beads and shamrock tattoos, the bank transactions of promised golden glazed donuts if we hit our PAW goal, or the Hello Kitty pencil for the student who just loves Hello Kitty. As many hours of listening to me ramble on about data, lessons that went well, or horribly bad, or the amazing good days, or the not so good ones. It can take a toll, and he's always there to listen. It is a fifth grader who has climbed into the car with me every day of my career, who, when I see her cute face in the hallway, it's the most perfect reminder that I share my four walls with someone's most prized possessions, their babies, who has taught me so much about compassion of our students who struggle, the workers, the more than the score kids, the ones who prefer to draw than read. She works so hard every day, grasping at the gift that is education. It is Lafayette current #1 class ranked senior, the head cheerleader, the sound master of all Lafayette productions, a drug-free superstar, so super involved but still finds the time to come say hi to her mom's class. She's idolized and loved by these North Side babies. She's kind and hardworking, who has taught me so much about the perfect students, the wanting to be noticed students. Even the students who don't demand our attention still need to be seen. At my table sits a middle school counselor, born to a young teenage single mom, not much to our name. Dancing the poverty line much of her education career, she seized public education, used it, worked hard to break the cycles, beat statistics, get her bachelor's, her master's, and went to fill a hole, become a middle school counselor. This past December, diagnosed with cancer. Much like every other thing in her life, she would not let that define her, hinder her hard work. Fighting through chemo, continues to show up every day for her students while working towards her specialist. When people ask, "Mary, is your daughter still working?" I say with so much pride, "Yes, and she's coaching track." She has taught me the shining example of the power of education. My 3 kids are why I'm standing here. They are why I've been given the most humbling title of Teacher of the Year. I am grateful, I am honored. I will continue to always do my best to continue working so hard for these amazing kids of our community and never forget the power of public school education. I want to say a huge thank you to St. Joseph School District Foundation, the previous Teacher of the Year winners. Barb Spencer, you have been amazing to me this year. Doug Snyder, you're okay. Just kidding. For giving me an amazing night to share my appreciation for those who have made me a teacher, and for seeing through so many flaws, you guys, to give me such a humbling title. This year, I have lost my badge 457 times. I wore a grill to teach in during a spirit day. I won 4 vacation sweepstakes, only to realize I was fished, and then fished again, and then fished again. Jammed the copier 678 times, followed by a wide range of colorful vocabulary as I cleared it out. I bought prize candy for the winners who won those classroom competitions, but I ended up eating most of it. And I whispered to myself to fix my face in 13 staff meetings. Through all these imperfections, you saw a heart for kids, for community, for teaching. One of my favorite classroom mottos that I share with my students as they make mistakes or struggle through something: "What are you doing right now?" They will answer very matter-of-factly, "Ms. Sanders, I am learning." I always reply with, "Yes, I don't need you to be perfect. I just need you to keep trying." Today, I did not teach in my classroom, but sit next to my daughter at the cancer center while she got yet another round of chemo, spending most of my time praying. This year has been hard, but also a year of reflection, to be more kind, more sympathetic to others around me, to not stress about the small things, and give glory to God for all things. A year to just keep trying. What does teaching mean to me? It means everything. It means walking through my door, giving every student on my roster a chance at life to help break their cycles, see them, acknowledge them, love them, help them be better learners, be a better person. Show them love, make the best out of each day, have fun, share lives, share laughs, while keeping high expectations, all while helping them reach their full potential. It is the best job in the world. How lucky am I? Thank you.
Mary, congratulations again so much. We are so thankful you're part of SJSD. Your students are so lucky to have you as a teacher. I do agree with you. Out of the past 3 years, Mary, you're amazing. Barbara, amazing. Doug? Doug, you got the best beard out of the past 3 Teachers of the Year. Yeah? All right. Before I leave you guys tonight, I do want to leave you with a challenge. My mother was a teacher. She taught home ec, or as we call it now, family and consumer sciences. When she passed several years ago, I was overwhelmed by the number of Facebook messages that I had received. Former students shared story after story about how much she had meant to them, not because of the lessons that she taught, but because of the way that she made them feel. But here's the thing. They did not tell her. They told me after it was too late. So, here's my challenge. Don't wait. If there's a teacher, a counselor, a bus driver, cafeteria worker, someone who made a difference in your life, tell them. Send the message, make the call. As an educator, I can tell you there's no better feeling than hearing from a former student who's out there just killing it and who took the time to say, "You helped me get here." So let's not wait until it's too late to say thank you. Say it now, say it loud, and say it often. Because the people in this room, they deserve to hear it. I'd like to welcome back to the stage Ben Bird, give our closing statements.
Real quick, I just want to thank everybody for coming, thank our sponsors, congratulate the award winners yet again. Thank you to our panel. I don't think anybody knows that they had to pivot. Their original plan was not what they did, so they did a great job. So the impromptu speaking was very impressive, and their realness and being authentic was, in my opinion, really appreciated. Last, I want to thank the teachers and the staff, just as a member of the community. My two boys are products of the St. Joe School District, and my wife and I are very grateful for what you do. I know the finish line is in sight, and you're getting a little tired and ready to be done, so one last push. You'll get there, and I know it's a long year. My parents were educators, so I don't really get it because I don't do it, but I do see it, so thank you. Last thing I'll say is to thank Julie Cobb, our executive director, and tell you that the foundation is on the move. This is her second full year in the job. Our fundraising is setting record after record. You don't know that, but behind the scenes, there's a lot going on with public and private partnerships. There's different programs like workforce development, other things that she's leading and spearheading. So when she comes knocking, I would encourage you to listen, because not unlike what the panel said, not like our new superintendent said, the stronger our school district is, the better the community will be. And we're getting some cash thanks to our partners and other people in the area that are really responding to Julie's call. So thank you to Julie, and thank you to those people who are listening. The programming through the foundation and other things that the foundation can facilitate will only improve. So thank you yet again, and we'll see you next year.